Wait. There. Oh, okay. That feels a little better. Hi, this is Amber from DSA Threads, and today we're going to talk about cozy. It's cozy! I get it now! Because that thing is happening, the Costuming Symposium. Everyone's doing their 21 questions, so it's time for my 21 questions for fun. Okay, let's get into these questions then. What is your favorite genre of costuming? I don't know, because I don't know what my genre is. I guess I do historical costuming, but like I don't pursue historical accuracy to the point of not having fun and being miserable for the most part. So I would say my genre is fun. What originally got you into costuming, cosplay, living history, etc.? I had a Felicity doll. Like 3 people had to chip in to buy it. And then I started making all the clothes for it because no one could buy the clothing. They were ridiculously expensive for a little plastic doll. What are your favorite materials to work with? Silk and pearls and bling. What is your dream event or photo shoot opportunity? I want to go to Italy so bad, and I want to go to Florence, and I want to go to Venice, because those are the 2 places that I make clothing from the most. And there is someone cutting the grass outside, so you're gonna have to hear that. Just pretend like it's a giant bumblebee. Actually, no, that sounds really terrifying. Okay, no. Don't imagine a giant bumblebee. Just imagine someone cutting the grass. Who do you look up to who taught you your crafts? Oh, / who taught your craft? Well, my mother was the one who started me using the sewing machine, but she did not like the sewing machine, and so I liked the sewing machine because she did not like the sewing machine. It was an act of rebellion. That's how rebellious I was. Making clothes for my dolls with the sewing machine. Who do I look up to? You know what? I really love Muse and Dionysus. They are fabulous and totally goals. Their relationship is beautiful, their child is beautiful, everything they make is wonderful, and they're fantastic people. Which of your projects are you most proudest of? I am definitely most proudest of the last project I made, which was actually 1580s Florentine noblewoman, and I finally decided this project to make lace and trim and pretty much anything I could. I chose a project that was intentionally harder than anything I'd ever done before because I wanted to see what I could accomplish, and it's amazing what you can accomplish when you push yourself a little bit past what you think you can do, because honestly, most of the time, you can do more than you think you can. What project taught you the most? That one. I learned something from every project. If I'm not learning something from a project, then I'm not interested in it anymore. So part of the dopamine for me that I chase is learning cool stuff and jumping down rabbit holes and getting messy and that stuff. Drape, draft, commercial pattern. I use mostly the Modern Maker, and I use the Bara method that he talks about in his books to draft the patterns that I use, and I like it because it's kind of an actual period way of doing it. But also, I'm kind of just like, the stuff fits me really well, like right off the bat, so that's why I like it so much. I am currently working on a Regency gown with pattern that is just a traditional pattern, and I'm sure it's wonderful, but patterns for me just tend to like, what? I don't even know, like, I tend to interpret directions very uniquely, and so sometimes it can be really confusing, even when other people are like, yeah, well, it's just that. I'm like, no, nope, it's not settling in. Are you team cut or team trace? I am team trace. When I can find my wax, I prefer to trace. Pins or pattern weights? Okay, pins I don't like because they tend to wrinkle the fabric, and I don't have pattern weights, so I usually just use whatever the heck I have, MacGyver style. So it's like, you know, mugs. I've got lots of mugs, lots of used mugs all over my table. Or like heavy scissors or anything that works in the moment that just happens to be there. What skill would you like to learn? Okay, so I still don't know how to take a pattern like that's small scale, like in Patterns of Fashion or whatever, and like size it up to my size, but then also like make it actually fit my body in the right ways, because, you know, my body is not the same as Eleanor de Toledo's, so it would be really awesome to be able to make something that fit my body. How many pieces are lurking in your UFO bin? I don't have a UFO bin. I really don't. I'm not bragging or anything. It's just like, I tend to be one of those people that like hyperfixates on something for a good amount of time, and I absolutely cannot start something else because my brain likes to focus on one thing at a time. So if I started another project, I wouldn't have the ability to sustain my interests enough on the focus on the one project I'm working on in order to get it done. So I do one project at a time. What's the most unconventional material you have used? I don't know. I mean, I guess the water-soluble stabilizer is pretty unconventional, and it's really, really awesome, and it allows me to do things that I never thought I could do, like create lace with a sewing machine. So I would say water-soluble stabilizer. Which era or genre would you like to make a costume of? There's part of me that kind of really wants to make like 18th century, but like not the big flowy dresses, like a men's fully tailored suit. Biggest sewing crafting pet peeve. I mean, like, my business name is Don't Sew Angry, so I do get fluffled quite a bit. Not being able to find things when you need them, like, that's my biggest pet peeve, but of course I don't have the brain energy to actually keep track of everything. So what did you do / learn in the past year that you are most proud of? Learning how to digitize really cool lace. And what costume would you like to revisit? Well, actually, I just revisited one of mine, my first historical costume from the last 4 years for Italian Renaissance, which was the Veronese blue gown, and I actually just finally took it out because pandemic has impacted my body. Oh, best sewing tool you've ever invested in. Again, the embroidery machine. Most useless sewing tool you've ever invested in. College? I should not say that. It's important to go to school. It just didn't teach me anything about costuming. Do I have any sewing assistants and pets? I do have pets. I have 2 dogs. They are white and fluffy, and they kind of look like slippers, and one is named Madison and one is named Lucy. But they do not hang out in my shop because they will eat bread. This is Maurice. He usually hangs up over there, but like I had to clear things off for a Renaissance backdrop recently. Do you sew over your pins or take them out as you go? Well, okay, so this is a tough one because I don't really use a sewing machine. Most of the work that I do is by hand. In fact, I had to move all of my sewing machines down off of their normal places because now I have several embroidery machines that I use to make the stuff in my shop. So I actually haven't had the ability to use a sewing machine for like a year now, and I don't really miss it. So no, I do not sew over pins anymore. I did in the past. In fact, I really wrecked up my serger by doing that, so do not recommend leaving pins in your fabric. Not anymore. That was not fun. Okay, I think that's it. Again, I'm excited about Cozy, and I look forward to seeing everyone else's posts and videos, and getting to know me 21 questions videos, because I think these are fun. This was fun. Have a good one.